What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today, I want to focus in on the Boston Bruins 2014 draft and talk about two trends that this draft reflected. They went more skilled than they have in recent years, as far back as I can remember. In many ways, they're gravitating away from the big bad Bruin persona, and I don't mind that. I never thought I'd say that, but it comes down to this: you either evolve as an organization, as a mindset, as a mantra, or you die out. It's that simple. If you don't make the necessary adjustments to compete in today's NHL, you're going to get screwed. You're not going to be able to compete. Other teams are too fast. To have these, cement foots out there sometimes, you're like, really, Montreal beat them with speed in that series. I think the Bruins had to say from top to bottom, what can we do to get better? I'm not saying there's not going to be a role for power forwards and tenacity, guys that mixed up in the forecheck. Not at all. Obviously, look at Los Angeles. They were able to win with guys like Kyle Clifford and, Dwight King, guys like that playing big-time minutes. Well, not big-time minutes, but playing, roles. But they also had Anze Kopitar, Marian Gaborik, guys like that, especially Gaborik, with speed to the outside. And, even going on the lower lines, having Trevor Lewis out there, he's not a big-time scorer, but he gives you speed, he gives you a different look. And that's kind of, mix and matching as opposed to, in recent years going with the bigger, tougher guys. I think it's been what's going to help the Bruins. This year I went with a lot of raw skill and Pasternak, Ryan Donato, whose father played for the Bruins, and we'll get to that's the second point I'm making. Danton Heinen, who's BC League going to the NCAA route last year, really had a good year with the Surrey Eagles. Anders Bjork, who I've been high on for a while. And Emilio Hansen, who I admittedly know nothing about, which is rare. I can admit, I hate to toot my own horn here, but it's rare there's a hockey prospect I know not a damn thing about, so I'm not doing too bad. But, you look at it, Pasternak's a really, really skilled player. He's not the prototypical, 6'4" Bruin that's going to throw you through the end glass. A little bit undersized, but he put up really good numbers in Sweden playing against men. And, that's what you're going to look at. I think he projects to be a center. I know I think he projects to be a wing, not a center, excuse me. He models his game after current Bruin David Krejci. Ryan Donato, whose father played, again, Teddy, Catholic Memorial guy. Raw talent. He's a few years away, so you need the USHL and the NCAA route. But, same thing with Danton Heinen. Anders Bjork's the same way. He's going to be at Notre Dame next year. Bjork had really put up really good numbers on a T development team this year. So, I think the best is yet to come with him. But, you're looking at it, I like the direction the Bruins are going with this youth movement in terms of being faster, having more skill than you have had in recent years. And I'm looking back, I'm seeing, guys that were drafted every year that, more known for their tenacity than anything else. Just looking back at recent drafts, Mitch Dempsey, Wiley Sherman, just for being that last year, Cody Payne in 2012, Anthony Kamara in 2011. Not that these are bad players or bad picks, just you see where it's starting to change over, and that change is definitely noticeable. Other point I want to make: they're going more local than they have in recent years. I like that. As a Massachusetts kid, I love seeing that. Went with Donato with their second round pick this year. Last year took Ryan Fitzgerald in the fourth round. Definitely a good move. Year before that, Matt Brzlik in the third round. Bringing these kids with local connections. Rob O'Gara the year before that, Milton Academy. I'm just kind of scrolling back, looking back at the other guys that brought up from the area. The Bruins have never really developed a New England player through their organization that's been, a long-time impact player. And Hal Gill, never mind, I take that back. But, let's leave Hal Gill alone. Especially because when he was with the Bruins, he sucked, and then he kind of got good. Now he's old and not as good. But, you look at all the great New England players over the years. None of them really spent the prime of their career with the Bruins. And I think it'd be really awesome to see, the Bruins draft a kid and develop them from the Massachusetts area, from eastern Massachusetts. And, Donato being a Situate native, Fitzgerald being from Melrose. And Donato, it's funny, his father's head coach at Harvard, Catholic Memorial High School. And I think his last year in the NHL was Bergeron's rookie year, and I lived with him in Situate for a while, so that's pretty cool. Being able to learn from one of the best, and just see everything come full circle. But going back to Charles Sonzo and Matt Grzelcyk, and the level of local hockey talents up in recent years, even though there were no Massachusetts players on the Olympic team. But I like the direction that the directions, plural, the Bruins are taking. I think it's definitely going to serve them, because if you keep doing the same things and nothing changes, you've just defined insanity. So That's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Boston Bruins 2014 draft. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs, throughout the offseason, and beyond. Later, guys.